Our next contestant is Morph1081. He is a commentator all the way from across the pond in Britain. He is, another international commentator. Gives a lot of diversity to our commentaries, and he is one comedian. He definitely tries to put a lot of jokes in his commentaries and tries to spice them up and bring us a lot more, than just the play-by-play in these games. He did 2 commentaries for us. Flash versus Jaedong in a recent Pro League game. I also casted that. And Stork versus Up Magic in another recent Pro League game. I believe, Peanut, you had some things to point out from Flash versus Jaedong, 2 clips, and we'll watch them right now. Let me describe them first. The first clip is part of that introduction, where he talks about how percentages aren't important.
Terran might. Now, any percentages? No percentages. Why no percentages? Because if you're in the top 10, Morph don't give you no percentages, because you don't need your percentages. You are above percentages. Percentages are a thing of the past for you. They're for people in their mid-career, not for zero. Late zero, once again, Jesus. Anyway, little bit rant about this. I'm hoping we will see some supreme blow. So
the next clip is another part of the introduction where he says the maps aren't important in describing this matchup, because he just wants to see Flash and Jaedong tear each other apart. Let's watch that too.
Now, just because I was so bloody hyped about this map, or I haven't even about this match, sorry, I haven't actually checked what map it's on or what the map percentages is. A lot of you will then go, oh, but why? It doesn't matter. Ooh, very stylish position. I'm just here for the joy. It's Jaedong versus Flash. I don't care what the map is. I don't care what their stats are. I just want to see them kill each other. I just want to see them rip each other to shreds. I want to see Flash covered in horrible acid zergling death, and I want to see Flash shell Jaedong back to the primordial soup that his alien scum crawled out of. So not picking sides. I want to see them both absolutely rinse each other.
Alright, Peanut, why did you choose these 2 clips?
Well, yeah, I am of the opinion that, of course, statistics and knowledge about the maps and the players is important. But what really captivated me about, especially the second clip, is his description of what he wants to see from this game. Especially, Flash being just destroyed by these aliens, and just the very visceral, very exciting, very comical as well descriptions of his anticipation of watching this game were wonderful for me, and they come very naturally to him, which was also a plus.
Rise, what did you think from a commentator's point of view about not including the percentages on these 2 players and not talking about the map, which was Destination?
Well, I saw where he was trying to go with it, but really, that's not one of the places that you want to be skimping on a map that is so heavily favored towards a Terran player. And yes, we got 2 big names here, but really, the thing is, the odds were stacked up against Jaedong. And while, after watching the game, we know that Jaedong won it, I mean, that just makes his feat all that more impressive, beating the almighty Flash on a Terran-favored map. So, very important to really include those facts early on.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And Rise, you suggested that we watch a clip from the very end of this game, and let's take a look at it right now.
Very good. This is very, very good. And no, he is bringing them in for S-Port. He is going to do a definitive push. He wants it. He wants it. He's hungry for it. He's using the Ricochet to his advantage. He's pushing in with those things. But yeah, he does need to be taking down the siege tanks with the mutas and then romping in with the Hydras. That is the way to go about this. Oh, taking down the SEVs, denying use of the missile turret, and once again, the expansion does not go down. The expansion is not secure. Lots of Goliaths there, but while they are focusing on the mutas, the Hydras will be able to rip through. And GG! Flashman Do goes down to the Jaedong. OMG! That was very, very nice. I have not seen a Zerg pressure.
Alright, so that was the play-by-play and the commentary of the very end of the game. He ends with OMG! Rise, why did you choose this clip for us to watch?
because OMG, that was a great finish, a great flow, and he really did a good job of tying it all together. I mean, the way that his mind was just thinking at that point, he puts out the right words. It was very entertaining. He's got a comical point of view, which I always enjoy. So I definitely appreciate it. Not to mention, his play-by-play was both accurate and insightful. So very well done on that, Morph.
All right, and finally, one more suggestion that was brought by me and Peanut. Here is a small clip from Stork versus Up Magic.
That's it, folks. Now this little mind-up, missile-turreted up middle ground will be taken down. Vulture's caught between two groups of Dragoons, just not where you want to be in a Dragoon sandwich if you're a little man on a bike. So, now...
Yeah, I definitely like this clip because I thought it was a great way of describing what it's like to be caught between a bunch of Dragoons with your Vultures. It's a Dragoon sandwich, and I really like that too. Yeah, so let's just try to conclude with an evaluation of how Morph is doing, what he's good at, and what he can improve on. Peanut, why don't you go first?
Sure. Morph's strength is definitely his humor and the way he thinks very quickly. Of course, it's important for commentators in general to be able to think quickly in order to sustain a good flow. But Morph goes the extra mile with his philosophizing, with his humor, with his incredible analogies. I think the most compelling commentators to me are the ones where I can think of a time when they brought in an incredibly apt and interesting analogy, like Klazar talking about Oedipus killing his father in the game between Flash and Boxer or something like that, and
yes,
that was key for me. And I think Morph has that potential. He's not quite there yet, but he definitely has that potential.
Rise?
Well, I gotta say, Morph, you have very high commentator APM. You know, you got a lot going on in your mind at the same time, and you do a very good job of articulating it all while staying relevant to the game. So, other than the fact that you missed a couple of percentages, which again, I gotta say are key, and you gotta make sure that you are catching them, you did a great job, and I expect good things from you.
Thanks, Rise. I also agree that Morph's sense of humor is really good, and he has a great flow to his commentaries that just seems to keep going and never really breaks. And that is definitely different from some people who like to cut and paste their commentaries a little bit more, but it's definitely a great style too. One thing I would say though is that I think preparation before the games in terms of commentating is so important. Whenever I start doing commentaries, we always go and research the statistics, the map. We look up previous performances of the players on the map and what they've been doing recently, and what other players have been doing recently on that map. And you know, we have to consider all these different things, and you can really work on that by mentioning more of those things. Not just that the players are epic, which we all know they are, but mentioning what they've done recently in this specific race matchup, what they're innovators at, what their weaknesses are at, and then what, you know, whether in their slump or they're on a winning streak. All those details are really important. But anyway, we can talk about more of that in the contest. Congratulations, Morph, you are the 4th SC2GG Commentator Idol testant. The next commentator we're proud to announce is Park X. Park X has been with us in the SC2GG community for maybe 2 months now, and he's a great commentator from Canada, I believe. He has been doing a lot of commentaries of both present day and past games, and he really, I think, has a good grasp of how builds work, either today's builds or builds of the past, as he demonstrates in 2 games he gives to us. One is Shine Cal versus Jangbi, played only a few days ago in the Pro League, and one is July versus Reach from the Gillette OSL 2004 finals. Obviously, I'm a big Reach fan. I'm also a big July fan, so I'm very happy to see this choice here. Let's first talk about Shine Cal versus Jangbi, his first submission. I believe Peanut wanted us to take a look at the beginning when he explains all the possible variations of Shine and Cal in today's pro gamer names.
Shine Cal being representing We Made Fox, and Dream Team Jamie representing Samsung Cons. Shine Cal should not be confused with Sis Cal being one of the Protoss Dragons, and Shine Cal being a relatively new Zerg player on We Made Fox. So do not confuse Shine Cal with Sis Cal, and do not confuse Shine Cal with Shine. Shine is actually a Terran player on OnGameNet. And do not confuse Shine Cal with C-Shine, who is another Terran player on I don't forgot what team. So definitely a confusing name here. Zero, alright.
Yeah, I found that that complete dissociation of all the different possible names of Shine Cal to be pretty funny, and also to demonstrate his good knowledge of all the different programmers out there. What do you guys think? Rise first.
Yeah, definitely. The fact of the matter is, there are a lot of names that overlap. We see it all the time. But if you don't know the pro gamers, you wouldn't know that. So I am impressed that he does pay attention enough and follow the league enough where he's aware of all the different names, and that definitely adds a little something something to the commentary.
Yeah, what did you just think about just his word choice and how he chose to open up this commentary, Peanut?
Well, I'm always a big fan of bringing in sort of the unconventional but still relevant facts to spice up a commentary, especially at the beginning. Definitely it gives the listener a chance to sort of adjust and be drawn into the world of professional StarCraft before getting into the real meat of the game. And what I was most impressed by was not just that he knew all of these variations on Shine and Cal, but that he was able to rattle them off so quickly and so fluently. It's one thing
Right.
to have a list in front of you or be able to say, oh, there are a couple guys with names similar to this, but it's another thing to be just be able to go bam, 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 and it was amazing. So I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, definitely. And Peanut, I think you had another clip you wanted to introduce from that game. This is from later on in the game when Shine Cal, whatever his name is, so I get confused. Shine Cal was using his Zerglings to do a huge Zergling run by and thereby killing Jangbi. Let's take a look at this clip.
And looks like the Zerg player is setting up for a run by here at the second entrance of the natural expansion. I don't know if Jangbi is prepared for this. His ramp is not blocked, and those Zerglings are through, ladies and gentlemen. They will just ignore the cannons and push up the ramp of Jangbi. Although Jangbi does a good job by separating the Zerglings that were in the rear there, but oh my god, about 6 Zerglings inside of Jangbi's base, and Jangbi has absolutely nothing to defend against this except probes and 1 Dragoon, and the Dragoon is not even range upgrade.
And Peanut, why did you choose this clip for us to take a look at?
Well, I thought this clip sort of showcased something which might seem to be a downside to Pargax as a commentator, but as actually something I think that should be applauded. He has sort of an accent. His liquids and dentals are a little bit different from what they are in standard American English. Not quite sure what kind of an accent it is. I'm thinking French Canadian, not sure. But in spite of that, he is able to speak so fluidly and to just keep going, even if something trips him up or he stutters a little bit. I can't do something like that, and sometimes when I stutter, I just stop completely. So, props to him for that.
Yeah, Rise, what did you think about this clip and about his commentary of that whole game in general?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought that he had very good play-by-play analysis for the most part. He really did a good job of letting you know what was going on, and he kept up with the pace of it. And you can see that in the speed of his voice, the speed that he's talking. All of a sudden, he can talk really quick, and you're like, oh yeah, this is happening, this is happening. So it keeps the excitement level up there, and overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think you had one more suggestion. This is from the battle of 2 huge, monstrously huge players in size and in muscle mass and in stature. July versus Reach. Gillette OSL 2004 Finals. Obviously a very, very important series, and he chooses one of the games on Neo Requiem. We're seeing the end here where evidently Reach decided to let July win this series because Reach is a very, very nice guy also, and July Zerg has accomplished a good Zergling rush into Mutalisks against a 1-base strategy, and let's take a look at what he has to say about it. So other than Park X being incorrect about Manlots not shooting up, because obviously Manlots, if they want to, can jump up and kill Overlords and Mutalisks, I think he did a lot of things right in this section here. What do you think about that, Rise?
Yeah, he definitely did. He has a healthy respect for Reach, and it's not, bordering on stalker like you. But
hey.
Overall, he did a really good job, and I thought that, again, his play-by-play was on. He had a good analysis of what Reach needed to go but didn't have, and really just he ended it well.
Gentlemen, so Breach is not anticipating the Mutilus. Jelizer's Mutilus are about to come out at any moment now. It looks like Jelizer is sneaking a bunch of Zerglings, trying to pick up that Cybernetics core. So that is going to be... and Reach has absolutely nothing to deal with this. These slow Zealots will take a while to get there, and as soon as the Zealots get there, Jelizer will just run away with those pesky Zerglings. And it looks like Reach is building his Citadel right now. I don't know why he's building his Citadel. Probably to go for Templar attack, maybe Dark Templar attack, maybe High Templar attack. Maybe he's thinking of going for Archons to defend against the Mutilus, but he is miles away from Archons, ladies and gentlemen, and Jelizer's Mutilus are going to be coming, and Reach has only one cannon inside of his base to shoot up. Manlots, as manly as they are, cannot shoot the air, and it looks like Jelizer will take this game here.
One thing that really jumped out at me from that segment was when Park X goes, he is miles away from Archons, ladies and gentlemen. That right there was just a gem of announcer talent. It just it gave me a lot of respect for his presence of mind, his commentator APM, as Rice was saying before. It was very presentational, very show busy, but not too hammy. So it was beautiful. I would actually say at the end of the July versus Reach video, I would have liked a little bit less apologizing to Reach fans, although that might have been something Cholera would have liked.
No, it's alright. Reach is a big enough band to accept a loss. And so are his fans.
I see.
But continue.
I see. And so while Park X's enthusiasm was great, his flow was great, he has these little turns of phrase that are very good. I did sort of wish that he had more of a recap at the end, but other than that, I think again he has a lot of potential. I look forward to seeing his VODs in the future.
And Rise, what did you think about him overall?
Well, he's got great introductions. He's got a great pace at which he starts the game. I do think he gets hung up on some of the little details occasionally. And if he can just keep that beginning flow, not necessarily the speed and the pace, but the flow in general, in through the beginning of the match to the middle and even into the end, he's going to do a great job at commentating overall. So if he works on those things, I think that he'll be up there on the front page one day.
You know, I think that's definitely a great style for Park X. One thing I would work on is not necessarily telling him to slow down all the time, but certainly at certain parts of the game to slow down a little bit. Let the viewer just take a break from the constant stream of consciousness and the constant just the stream of information. Slow down, and also especially if some situation is pretty complicated and he's tripping over his words, he needs to go and slow down. Just say it slowly, think about it first, and with that, just some polish. I think he'll do a very good job. So I'm looking forward to him. Congratulations, Park X, for being chosen as one of our contestants. And our last contestant is Mr. Smiley. He is a new commentator who decided to apply to this contest, and I really think out of all the commentators, he sounds the closest to a professional sportscaster. He really reminds me of someone you would see calling out football plays on ESPN. He has a very smooth voice, a very calm and collected way of going about things, and he tells very nice jokes. Peanut has two clips she wants us to see that come from his game that he submitted between Sky High and Lita. The first one talks a little bit about a certain commentator's man crush.
So maybe I've just been missing Lita. I mean, you hear about Firebat Hero, you hear about Much and Bisu, and then if you're listening to Cholera, you hear nothing but Reach, because he's of course has a man crush on the man toss. But anyways, so we're going to be seeing an interesting game here, of course.
Oh, well, the next clip I think just shows one of the players moving his tanks up and shelling the other ones, but Peanut wanted us to really just take a look at how he said it.
Four total barracks. Wow, those tanks could be in trouble. Lita, I believe, is in range of the siege here. He's going to move him out just in time. Oh, that was a great move by him, and that shows the importance of having the barracks to be able to scout out your opponent.
So, Peanut, why did you choose these two clips in specific?
Well, the first one I liked because he did talk about a certain commentator that I am a fan of, but also have a slightly contentious relationship with. And in particular, his phrasing, man crush on the man toss, which I don't think I've ever heard before, but when I heard it, I thought he was quoting something, because I said to myself, that is a very excellent turn of phrase. So that was very entertaining. And then the other clip, I really liked the way he says, move them out just in time. And with the little laugh at the end of just in time. That was very much the ESPN sportscaster moment for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I really like the timing and how you just coordinated it perfectly. Anyway, Rise actually wanted us to take a look at the recap at the end of the game when Sky High beat Lita.
Yeah, this is it here. This is it for Lita. So just very, very good play from Sky High. I honestly thought Lita had it in the early game, but the critical error was Lita did not find the fast expand by Sky High fast enough. And Wraith's coming out. Wraith's, I don't even know if that's almost like an insult maybe. That's something that, I mean, he's won at this point, so he's going to start taking out the tanks with the Wraiths. There should be GG any moment at this time. Lita's done. He has nothing to fend off the tank. No.
Rise, my man, why did you choose this clip to show off Mr. Smiley's work?
Because I didn't want to add to the people talking about man crushes on Reach. God, that gets tiring. So anyway, the play-by-play here was really good, and the actual shining moment was when you interrupted yourself. When all of a sudden the play-by-plays happen, there's a lot of recapping going on at the same time, and you just stop your recap and you go, oh wow, look at the race coming out. You're way on top of the game, even though you were still in the midst of doing a recap. So showing that you're very flexible in your commentary, is able to do more than one thing at a time, focus on more than one thing at a time, which is important for any commentator to do. You got to make sure that first and foremost you're talking about the game, because that's why people are watching for the most part. So good job in doing that, and I'm sure that you can do that with other situations as well.
Definitely. And I wanted to point out a clip from the second submission he made, which was actually a home game he played, or rather attempted to play. And this was the disastrous conclusion. He is the Terran player.
Oh, there's the Dragoons. And I know there's a Mind Drag! Oh gosh! And now I'm done. You can see the OMG down here. This is what it's like to fail. And I would assume that I'm pretty close to GG at this point. Here come the Dragoons. So hey guys, take this from Smiley. This is how not to play Terran. Granted, you probably don't want to play on a map that has 4 entrances to your base, but yeah, you don't want to play as a Terran if you don't know what you're doing. So this is the ultimate reason on why you don't accidentally leave your race at random at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, and the reason why I chose this is because he's not only capable of commentating a game where the pros play, but where he plays, and the play is just, say, far from perfect. He, I think, went Medic, Marine, into Engineering Bay, into 2-Fact, into Death against Protoss, which makes absolutely no sense. So basically, he's not exactly the best player, but he also knows how to make fun of himself and, take a rather strangely played game and still make a good conclusion to it, I think. What did you two think about this clip? Why don't you go ahead, Peanut?
Yeah, I definitely like the humility, and he did point out that, well, I hope this sort of does cast a good light on me for this SC2GG Idol commentator contest. Point well taken. I do appreciate someone who can step back and look back at his own play and say, hey, that was a little boneheaded. So I thought you did a good job with that.
Rise?
Overall, I thought that he did a great job. Great sense of humor, great flow. You're right, he definitely does have that commentator voice, although I don't think I can really commentate on that because I don't. So, but good job to him overall for being able to play a game and comment on his own game. That I'll be honest, if I picked a game for me to comment on that was my own, it wouldn't be a game where I lost so badly, but it was entertaining still because of the color that he added to it. So nicely done, and I look forward to more submissions from him because I think that he's got a lot to offer.
I think that was a really good final evaluation there, Rise. And moving on to Peanut, what do you think he did really well, and what do you think Smiley needs to work on in the future?
Well, caller, it's very interesting. As you and Rise pointed out in your comments just now a little bit, he has something special about his voice. And that special thing is something that, if I might use an example from the existing commentators, I would like to point out Diggity definitely also has. I sometimes call Diggity the Barry White of SC2GG, and that's because the timbre of his voice, the characteristic called timbre, is very special. Timbre is, to explain quickly, everything about a sound other than its pitch and its volume. So if you have a trumpet and a piano that are playing the same note, the same pitch, at the same volume, why do they sound different? Why do they sound so incredibly different? And while I wouldn't put Smiley exactly at the level of Diggity in terms of amazing timbre, there is something about his voice that is very compelling to the listener, and that just makes me smile when I listen to him commentate. I think Artosis once said this about Vol, that Vol could read a laundry list or like a shopping list, and Artosis would want to listen to it. That's timbre, and Smiley has it, definitely more than pretty much any of these other contestants. I would say he should work on his diction, that is his command of the language, I guess English in this case, because there were some places where he did not express himself quite as clearly as I think would be necessary for a really, really top-level commentator. But he has amazing potential, and he has some very nice turns of phrases like "man crush" on the man toss. And I very much look forward to seeing his commentaries in this contest.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's a great example of how you don't have to necessarily be the best player, but you can be an absolutely great commentator nonetheless. And with that, we have all 6 contestants who will be participating in this contest. Thank you again for all the submissions. And right now, we're just going to announce that the first week's assignment is for these contestants to choose any game played in the Korean pro scene from the last 30 days and do a commentary of it. The games are recommended to be under 15 minutes, but are 20 minutes at maximum. And we will have all these games posted on our website on Thursday night. For all the viewers out there, please do go to our website sometime Thursday, Friday, or Saturday and take a look at these videos, all 6 of them. Then you can go on our thread and vote on who you think did best. We actually have 3 choices, unlike the real American Idol, because of the smaller voting pool, of course. You can choose your favorite, your second favorite, and your third favorite. Your favorite will be 5 points. Worth 5 points. Your second favorite will be worth 3 points, and your third favorite will be worth 1 point to that person's voting total. And at the end of the week, unfortunately, one of these 6 commentators will have to depart us by next Monday. So do stay tuned for the new episode that will have our guest judge Diggity and our first elimination next Monday. Do go to SC2GG.com for all the information again, and you do need to register an account to vote, but like I said, it takes just a few minutes. Finally, this week I will be releasing a bloopers video, or the worst of the commentaries video, where Rise and Peanut and I will go over some of the performances that perhaps were not as stellar as these 6. You know, the William Hungs of the SC2GG Commentator Idol. But you know, I think in general everyone did really, really well. I really thank you guys for making this so far a success in terms of having all the talent available for us to choose from. And a big shout out to Zafrix and Backho of SC2GG.com. That's Backho, by the way, not Backho, spelled differently. And they are the producers for our show. They're in charge of taking care of the contestants and setting the rules and making sure everything runs smoothly. And of course, thank you very much to our 2 permanent judges, Rise and Peanut, to be joined with several new exciting judges that we'll announce over the next weeks. I am the host of SC2GG Commentator Idol, Cholera, and I will be signing off right now. Thank you for watching.